King Arthur Legends Rise is a squad-based, turn-based fantasy RPG with striking cinematics and a gritty, dark story. Focusing on the journey of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, your mission is to rebuild the Kingdom of Camelot and help bring order into a war-torn world. In this video, I will be going over everything this game has to offer, including an in-depth look at the turn-based combat, the characters, as well as a plethora of different game modes that are waiting for you to explore. King Arthur Legends Rise is available right now for free on PC and mobile. Click on the link in the description if you want to check it out and download the game for yourself. Big shout out to the developers Kabam for sponsoring this video, and without further ado, let's buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and dive into Camelot. I had an opportunity to play the pre-release build of this game back in 2023, and the graphics have definitely been punched up a notch since then, with other gameplay improvements and new features based on community feedback. So let's walk through some of the different gameplay modes and things that we can do in King Arthur Legends Rise, so you can get an idea of what this game is all about. So this is Camelot. This is our main base where we're going to unlock different buildings that we can upgrade to get new resources and things that we're going to need throughout the course of the game. This is also where we can jump into different game modes and dungeons to farm resources for our champions. So starting off, let's check out the restricted area. We've got in here power-up dungeons. These are used to get more XP resources to build your characters or to advance them. So this Plane of Beasts fight here is used to get advancement resources to take your champions to higher tiers. And then the Burning Land is used to get more XP materials that you will use to just level your characters up. So let's check out this Plane of Beasts boss fight, because this is something that I need to farm right now to build my character Morgan. So the key with this boss is it brings up this big shield that you have to wear down with multi-hit attacks. So we want to focus on using abilities with our characters that will inflict multiple hits on the character at once. So see, I do 2 hits there. This guy in particular here, he's going to be able to do a multi-hit attack that's going to be able to take this shield down real quickly. Then boom, hitting him with this. So now we've whittled into his HP bar here, and we're going to be able to start using our higher tier abilities. All right. Crack the shield again. Now we're going back into it. Build up our vigor meter once more. And we almost got him here. This should finish him off. Boom. So there you go. So this mode here is where we're going to farm our ascension materials for characters. We've got an uncommon mana orb here and a common mana orb, and then we can obviously then synthesize these together to get the higher tier materials. So let's show you how to do that right now. So currently I'm looking to advance Morgan to a higher level right here, and we need 15 of these rare mana orbs. So we're going to go ahead and synthesize some of the lower tier ones in order to do that. And to do that, we're going to go to the Mage's Tower here and click on Advanced Material Synthesis. We're going to go to Rare Mana Orb, and we're going to take the maximum here. All right, so that's giving us 3 more. All right, so now that I've got my resources together, we're ready to advance Morgan to the higher tier. So basically, at each star level, your character is going to cap out at a certain level. Currently, I'm capped out at level 30, but by advancing my character to a higher tier, I'm going to be able to take her to level 40. So we're going to hit this to advance the character. And boom, now she's at a 4-star rank, and we can continue to level her up here by using our XP potions. So let's just do that right now. And by using our XP potions here, we can take her up to level 31. Boom. This increases her base attack, defense, and HP, and overall is just going to make her a stronger unit to use in combat. Now, again, we can go back to the restricted area to get more XP potions if we want to take her up further levels or complete some other content to level her up as well. So let's talk about some of the other game modes that we can experience in King Arthur Legends Rise, starting with the Colosseum. Now, in here, we can participate in arena battles which is an asynchronous PvP mode where we compete against other players in the game. So we've got a few different teams we can square off against here. I'm going to try to duel one of these lower powers because I haven't built my teams out quite as much as I would like to so far. So we're going to take this on here and start the duel. Now, again, these are not real-time battles. You're basically fighting a defense team that's set up by another player, and you yourself will also set up defense teams that other players can battle against, which is pretty cool. All right, let's cook them. Boom. All right, my team is a lot stronger than these guys, so I should be able to come out on top here. Literally have like 3 seconds to pick your attack. All right, nuke them. Cool. So there we go. So, you know, I'm still in the bronze category because I'm still in the early game, but as you progress and defeat your opponents in these arena battles, you can level up and get into higher brackets of competition, which is kind of cool. And then obviously as we compete in the arena and we get to higher tiers, we'll also gain higher rewards that we can unlock for our account. So just unlock a few summoning tickets there. The big draw of this game for me are the 2 story modes, the main story and the adventure mode, which are essentially side quests. So let's dive into an adventure mission right now so I can show you a closer look at the combat strategy. Alright, so this is a good opportunity to sort of walk through some of the battle mechanics of King Arthur Legends Rise. So if you notice over here, we've got these little elemental symbols next to the enemies. These correspond to enemy strengths and weaknesses. So these are all storm element characters, so they're going to be weak to fire abilities, which King Arthur here is a fire character, as well as Morgan. So we should be able to cook these guys pretty well. So we're going to start off with an attack here. If you see plus 25% means you're going to do 25% more damage. But if you're weak against the element that you're going up against, you'll get a minus 15% damage modifier. So let's use our ability here. So each character in your roster is going to have 3 different abilities. They have A1, A2, and A3, which is usually a sort of ultimate ability. Now, this bar down here is the Vigor meter. Now, in order to unlock these higher tier abilities, we need to have a high Vigor bar in order to actually use those abilities. If we use our A1, we will continue to build up Vigor to be able to use our higher tier abilities. So it takes a little bit of strategy to figure out your rotation between your characters, which characters you're going to stick with using A1 abilities to build Vigor, and which characters you're going to sort of build up ultimates for to use their higher tier abilities. Now, Kay is up right now. She's kind of like our AoE damage dealer, so we're going to use her ultimate ability here to attack all of the enemies. Now, we've got Morgan here. She's a fire character. She's kind of like a DPS or sub-DPS character, and she could do a lot of damage to multiple units as well with her A2 ability, so we're going to check that out right now. His A1 just does a multi-hit attack. Now, as you can see, he's an ice unit character, and he is weak to storm. So ice attacks do less damage against storm characters, whereas fire attacks are the ones that are going to do more damage to storm characters. I've run into a lot of ice characters in the main story, and one thing that's been kind of funny about this game is that fire units are actually weak to ice, which is something that I wouldn't have expected, but fire is weak to ice. Ice is weak to storm, and then storm is weak to fire. And that's the sort of elemental rotations you're going through. So you always want to be paying attention to which elements your enemies have. In this case, our only option right now is to do just a multi-attack. So we'll just hit this guy here to build up some vigor. All right, now we're back to Arthur. I think I'm going to save up some of his attack as well, because I really want to use our nuke abilities here. And Morgan has her ultimate ability is a single target, but it does a lot of damage. So let's show this off right now. Boom. Didn't quite finish him off, though. All right. Sayonara. Bada bing. Alrighty, boom. So we've completed our first adventure quest here. I like these. These are little just, quick side quests that we can do, explore the world a little bit more, learn a little bit more about the lore in this game, and obviously get rewards that we can use to build our units. Yeah, and checking into our chapter menu here, we can see our progress in how much of the story we've completed, as well as how many soul fragments we've gathered, treasure chests, and hidden tales. So as you complete missions in this game mode, you can come back, go through and collect all the collectibles that you miss, and then obviously get all of these different rewards. So aside from the adventure mode, we obviously also have the main story, which I would say is sort of the main draw in the early game to King Arthur Legends Rise. Now at this point, I've completed about half of the main story. There's 10 chapters, and I just finished the big boss at the end of chapter 5. So let's walk through and show off a little bit of King Arthur's story. Right now, we have to speak to Merlin to move forward to our next objective.
Your Majesty, I saw your banner on approach. I am Princess Guinevere, acting ruler of Camelot.
Thank you for your warm welcome. I am indeed King Arthur Pendragon of Camelot. A pleasure to meet you.
And that will do for pageantry. What business brings you to Camelot?
I have been pursuing an enchantress by the name of Morgan. I heard tale that there were those using dark...
I got her on my team, too.
She may be involved.
Excuse me, Your Majesty. We may have an issue with heretics, but that is a problem for Camelot to solve. Camelot is our ally, but our matters remain...
Guinevere's kind of a baddie, not gonna lie. Uh-oh. The fog. Keep moving. No, the unemployed.
Are you all right? Where are your parents?
Likely shocked silent by the presence of a noble. Do not bother yourself.
You again? Do you live in this village, little one?
Too much.
You'll have to speak up. Don't be afraid.
Your Highness, something seems off.
Be careful. Bad people.
Oh, no. All right, we're in for a fight now. Let's do it. Bada bing. So one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier as we were looking at the combat is the time of day. So combat is also affected by night and day cycles that will give your characters certain buffs or debuffs. Right now we're fighting against fire units, so let's just cut loose. All right, we're going to put a buff on our characters to give them a little bit of a shielding. Boom, that nuke damage is crazy. She really pops off. All right, send them away. And we got him. Bing. There we go. All right. So that's the first section of Chapter 6 completed. I'll leave the rest of this for you guys to enjoy on your own because I don't want to spoil the story. But I did want to give you a little taste of what the main story has to offer in King Arthur Legends Rise. So let's go over some of the champions that I've been building in King Arthur Legends Rise because champion building and team building is really at the heart of this game. Now, champions come in different rarities. The highest tier is called Legendary, but we also have Rare, Uncommon, and Common as well. Now, obviously, in these types of games, you may be tempted to go ahead and build all of the shiny Legendary characters that you get, but you don't want to sleep on the rare characters as well. This character in particular, Kay, who we unlock very early in the game, is actually an incredible damage dealer and can help carry you through a lot of the content, especially as you are early in your progression in King Arthur Legends Rise. One of the advantages of building a rare unit over a legendary is it costs a lot less to advance them to a higher tier. So for instance, in order to advance Kay to the next tier that we want to take her up to, we'll need 15 legendary mana orbs and 15 Twin Eagle Fairy Stones. But if we want to level up Morgan, a legendary character, we're going to need 20 of these legendary mana orbs and 30 of these Draconic Fairy Stones. So the cost of upgrading her is going to be a lot higher than a rare character. So one of the things you'll probably want to do as you get started with your account is to build up a character like Kay, or just building up Kay, and taking her to the higher tiers first, and then starting to build out some of the support units. Right now, I'm also building out Bodwin here. He's very good at providing shield suppression and, different buffs to our team to give defensive buffs. And then I'm building out our main character, Arthur, as well, who's a pretty good damage dealer for the early game and is good to give you fire element coverage if you need that. Tristan is another legendary unit that you will unlock for free very early on in the main story. I have not had an opportunity to build him yet, but I am planning to start working on this character and building him up as well. But right now, my priority is to get Kay as high as I can get her, and then push through the main story and the adventure quests, kind of see how far I can get into that, and then try to push in the restricted area dungeons as well to try to just see how far I can progress before I need to level up characters even further and take their resources even further. So in addition to our regular leveling that we're going to do for characters, we're also going to have to get equipment for them, which we will get through main story rewards and then farmable dungeons as well. I believe gear goes all the way up to 6-star rarity, but I'm in the early game at this point in time, so I'm only getting 1, 2, and 3-star drops at this point in time. Each of these armor sets will also have a set bonus. So this is from the Forceful set. This one's from the Life set. This is from the Attack set. And we can unlock these different bonuses here. So if you get a 4-piece set of attack, you increase your attack by 30%. If you get a 2-piece set of life, you increase your max HP by 15%. So definitely want to try to farm gear to get set bonuses that match your character's strengths and try to build out either their damage or their defense or buff their main abilities. So there you have it. We've taken a closer look at the gameplay and storytelling of King Arthur Legends Rise. If you're interested in checking out the game for yourself, be sure to click on the link in the description to download the game and start playing for free today on PC or mobile. Big shout out to Kabam for sponsoring this video, and as always, big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.